Welcome back to Creeping Back In, where the morning message from the previous Lord's Day creeps back into your life. 3 minutes of morning devotion related to the morning message of Sandy Ridge Baptist Church of Hickory. This particular one was June 1st, and now here it is Saturday, June the 7th, 2025. And the morning message this last Sunday morning was out of Romans 9:13, Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. We showed where it was quoted out of Malachi 1. Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. We defined it in Genesis 29, where it says that Leah saw how Rachel was loved and saw that she was hated. We ended in Luke chapter number 14, where Jesus said, if you do not hate your own family, you cannot be my disciple. Minute 2. Our scripture today comes from Nehemiah chapter 13, the last chapter of the book, verse 15. Where Nehemiah says in verse 15, in those days I saw people in Judah treading wine presses on the Sabbath and bringing in sheaves and loading donkeys with wine, grapes, figs, and all kinds of burdens which they brought into Jerusalem on the Sabbath. And I warned them on that day on which they were selling provisions. Men of Tyre dwelt there, all kinds who brought in fish, all kinds of goods, sold them on the Sabbath. I contended with the nobles of Judah and said to them, what evil thing is this that you do by which you profane the Sabbath? Did not your fathers do thus, and did not our God bring all this disaster on us and on the city? Yet you bring added wrath on Israel by profaning the Sabbath. So it was at the gates of Jerusalem, as it began to be dark before the Sabbath, I commanded the gates to be shut. Minute 3. Christians will do no good for themselves by cramming so much into their lives that they have no margin to properly rest. It is true that the Sabbath was not made, man was not made for Sabbath, but the Sabbath for the man. That's true. But even now, men do not take this great responsibility to rest. Whether you are a Sabbatarian, a Christian Sabbatarian, or no Sabbatarian at all, I must remind you that the biological realities of your labor and work and rest are going to find you. I must ask you to hate breaking the principle of the Sabbath. It is one of the 10 commandments to remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. And it could be argued one way or the other whether you are required to keep it. But on this seventh day of the week, I must remind you that no Christian will be effective long term as a Christian so long as they continue to work day in and day out and do not Sabbath. This is Creeping Back In. I will see you tomorrow.